just want to give a big old middle finger to white dudes in suits. White dudes in suits that thought that it's a good idea to make a $100,000 truck do this dumb shit. Shout out to the white dudes in suits. 5 miles an hour, dog. 5 miles an hour, dog. Help me understand why this is even necessary, dog. Like, for real, for real. You know, I was born in the 1900s, right? So, there's no way you telling me that all this pollution that's on Earth, North Carolina or wherever, is coming from semi-trucks in such a fashion that it's necessary to do this, man. Seriously, the award for bonehead purchase of my career goes to this. Goes to this truck right here. 0201. Big middle finger to this truck right here. This truck right here has been in the shop every month. Like, word is born. Shout out. Shout out to Peterbilt. You too. It's your guy, not your average trucker. Back at it with another video. Life and times of a hustler, I guess. Shout out to punk ass TLG. Peterbilt here in Charlotte. Had a driver driving this freaking 579 day cab. Derated on him. He was in, at the time, he was in Apex, North Carolina, which is like, 2 hours from Charlotte. He calls me, hey man, the truck, first of all, he sends me a picture. He's like, what does this mean? It's like, what the hell you mean? Can you read, dog? But anyway, truck was in freaking derate mode. I call a roadside guy, because that truck literally just got out of the shop at the beginning of September, right? So here we are. Today is October the 4th or 3rd or something like that. So I'm like, man, they just fixed the whole $22,000 worth of bullshit. What the hell could possibly be wrong with this truck in less than 30 days, right? Call one mechanic. Dude is like, yeah, that's the first thing. I don't know if you or anybody out there ever had to call these punk ass roadside mechanics, but they all full of it, man. Because they understand if they keep it real with you, you just gonna hang up and call the next spot. 5 South. Anyway, so I called this one guy. He's like, oh man, I got a guy like 30 minutes from you. He'll be there in 30 minutes. It was like 10:30 in the morning, right? So I tell my driver, all right, I got somebody. He'll probably be there within the hour. It's a freaking day cab. He's sitting on the side of the damn road. Well, he pulled into this little gas station. I'm in Charlotte handling other business. You know what I'm saying? Then I look at my watch and I realize an hour done went by. So I text the driver like, yo, man, you heard from that mechanic? He like, nah. So I called the mechanic again. He's like, oh, man, I had a flat tire, blah, blah, blah. Dog ate my homework. I'll be there in 30 minutes. It's like, my man, you told me you'd be there in 30 minutes. Freaking hour ago. So naturally, I, pick up the phone, call another spot. because he was also like 20 miles from a freaking Peterbilt dealer in Raleigh, and they do roll calls as well. So I hit them up, and they like, yo, they got a tech doing absolutely nothing, and he could probably be there in 30 minutes. So I'm like, all right, bet. So Peterbilt guy's on his way. The first tech I called is allegedly on his way as well. Shout out to Quick Trip. Shout out to making my fat ass get this exercise in. But needless to say, I hear from the Peterbilt guy shows up, and then the first mechanic that I called calls me, and he's like, all right, man, I just wanted to confirm the address. I'm like 5 minutes away. I'm like, dog, you said you was gonna be here in 30 minutes like 2 hours ago, man. I'm good. I done found somebody else. Right? So I guess he hits his dispatch back. His freaking dispatch sends me this goofy text message talking about I owe them a $250 call out fee for canceling. I was like, no the hell I don't, man. I told you an hour and a half ago, don't even worry about it, because you said you was gonna be here and you didn't show up. So naturally I called your competition. So he's like, well, I'm gonna have my roadside guy box your car in, park his truck in front of your truck, so you can't leave unless you pay us. I'm like, yeah, man, whatever. Hung up. Text my driver. He like, man, ain't nobody here but the freaking Peterbilt guy. So, needless to say, the Peterbilt dude is there. Young dude. Like, you know, I'm not there. I'm talking to this guy on the phone. He sound young as shit. He hooks his little computer up to it. And he's like, well, it's showing that it's in Derate mode, but it's not giving any active codes. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, man, it went through a full regen and with no problems, you know, no knock sensor issues, no such. He just started naming a bunch of bullshit. He was like, but my internet, I guess he was using his phone as a hotspot. So he's like, yo, my internet service is no good, so I can't actually clear it, you know, I can't upload it to clear your codes. It's like, what? He's like, give me a minute, I keep trying. Now at this time, it's like 2 in the afternoon. I'm in Charlotte, drivers in Apex. You know, he had a load he was supposed to be picking up in Silas City, which is, you know, like 30 minutes from where he was at. So I'm debating whether to jump in the truck, go pick up jump in one of them trucks, go pick up the load myself, and, you know, worst case scenario, pick him up if something wrong. This stupid mechanic sees to waste our time for another 3.5 hours. Every time I talk to him, he's like, oh, I think I got it figured out. You should be good to go. You should be good to go. Right? And I'm like, listen, man, my driver ain't gonna have no more hours. I'm gonna have to get a tow truck or something to get him home, or I'm gonna have to come out there myself to get him. 30 minutes later, I get a call from the damn tech saying that, you know, his internet's so slow from his phone that he really can't help us anymore. And his shift is over. It's like, dog, you got here at 1 p.m. It is now, you know, 4-something p.m. and you just now telling me that you can't do nothing? Meanwhile, my driver, you know, he's in a day cab. He ain't in a sleeper. He's sitting there pissed off because he left Charlotte like 3 in the morning. You understand? Because he had a load to deliver up that way at 6 in the morning. So I'm sitting here pissed off, calling tow trucks. All these tow trucks is like, nah, they ain't really trying to bring nobody to Charlotte. So I'm like, F it. Jumped in one of my other trucks. You know, bobtailed my ass to him. You know, took his trailer, told him to take the truck. You know, ride dirty as fuck, but take your ass home. And, you know, I'm gonna see about getting it situated. Right? So my driver's telling me, yo, man, I seen this thing on Google. You know, if you got a Peterbilt 579 with a packed car engine, all you gotta do is pull out all the ABS fuses. That way the engine won't know how fast it's going, and you can ride out, get to the crib. I was like, you know, I'm pretty sure the dude that made that video had a manual. You know, you in an automatic, so I highly doubt that that shit is going to work. So I get there, pull the fuses out just to test the shit out. Naturally, it don't work, because even if you put it in manual mode, it wouldn't go past 4th gear. So you ain't really going nowhere. Yeah, derate's 5 miles an hour, but 4th gear is what, 10, 15 miles an hour? Like, that ain't no better. So call a freaking tow. I got 4 more people that didn't want to, because I didn't want to just tow it to a shop in Raleigh, because still would be left with the fact that how the hell we getting back to Charlotte, where the driver's going is me there at this point. Finally found a tow. Dude like, yeah man, I'll tow you from Apex to Charlotte for $700. I was like, are you sure, dog? He's like, yeah man, it's, you know, $3 a mile round trip plus a $200 hookup fee. And so I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, I mean, your math's still not right, my man, but your price is way low. Naturally, I ain't say this shit to him. Like, all right, bet, man, send somebody. You know, because it's like 120 miles one way, so what? 240 miles round trip, plus his hookup fee and $3 a mile, whatever. So I'm like, all right, well, let's do it. You know, some time, 30 minutes go by, and the actual, cause that was dispatch, the actual tow truck driver calls me. He's like, hey man, where you at? I tell him. He's like, oh man, he told me you on the highway. I'm like, nah man, truck is at a gas station off this little side road. So he's like, yo man, they quote you $750? I was like, yeah. He's like, wow. All right, well, I'll be there in 15 minutes. He hangs up. I get a call back again from that dispatcher. He's like, excuse me, sir, I think I miscalculated, because, you know, it's nighttime, it's evening hours, plus he's going all the way to Charlotte and back. How you feel about $1,000? Because my tow truck guy says he's not going to show up for $750. It's not worth his time, because, you know, he's looking at about 5 hours round trip. And I started laughing. It's like, yo man, I don't care what you talking about, just come get me, dog, because at this point it done got a little chilly outside, and I had been there with the truck for a minute, because I got up there at like 6:30, and at this time it's like 9 p.m. I'm like, yo, I'm over it, dog. I've been sitting here 3 hours. You know, I ain't about that life today, not in the day cab. So needless to say, tow truck guy shows up about 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock. We hit the road, get all the way down here to Charlotte. The problem is freaking Peterbilt closes at midnight, and you know, I ain't want the tow truck guy to just leave my shit in the street right in front of the spot. So I'm like, yo man, it's a little truck stop right down the street, let's drop the shit there, cause you know, cause find a little spot, drop the truck. This was yesterday, well, I guess this morning. You know, I take an Uber back to my car, get to the crib. I ain't get to the crib about 2:30 in the morning, and I'm like, all right, I gotta get my ass up and do this 5 miles an hour to this Peterbilt dealership. And bada boom, bada bing, that's where we at. But the funniest thing ever is last year I bought, in 2021, I bought like six trucks. And I bought that particular yellow Peterbilt the week of Thanksgiving 2021, right? So I got it on Monday. I think that one is a 2019. Got that sucker Monday. Did a test run, coincidentally driving it to Raleigh and back, right? All these lights start flashing on it that day. Mind you, the truck had been checked out got a little bullshit warranty and all that. Had to take the truck back to the shop the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Didn't get that truck back into January sometime, right? Because it was parts on back order, all types of shit, right? That truck has been in the shop literally every month, every other month for something. Sometimes warranty cover it, sometimes it doesn't. Needless to say, that is the bonehead purchase of the year for me. Never forget when I was about to buy it, my wife was like, yo, we don't need no more trucks, fam. Don't get that truck. I'm like, yeah, you know, I got this going on. I need this truck. Sometimes you gotta listen to your wife. And the ironic thing about it is, I gave that truck number 0201. That's my father's birthday, February 1st. And I remember I sent the picture of the truck and the truck number to him. He's like, oh man, that's gonna be your best truck, your most reliable truck. And I laugh every time that shit go to the shop, especially a day like today where I just had to walk damn near a mile from dropping it off back to where my car is, because he told me how reliable that truck was gonna be since I gave it his birthday. Mind you, I'm in my 40s now. My entire childhood, I ain't had no relationship with my father. So the fact that he like, yo, that truck gonna be reliable, and it hasn't been a lot reliable, shit's hilarious. But it's your guy, not your average trucker, man. Figured I'd shoot a video while I was walking, because I won't do with nothing else, man. Hope everybody out there good. And if you having a rough patch with repairs and all types of shit, and you think it's bleak out here, just understand, man. Even people with bread, even people that have been in the game a while, you have good days, you have bad days, man. It's the game, man. Keep fighting, you heard?